just think it's really hot.
That was still, in my opinion, last.
It was blindingly hot when I
Yeah, we didn't.
And I, like,
That's a just a non.
It is hot, yeah.
That's true.
It's October
I agree. When I
14th
was
tomorrow,
like, wait,
and
Howard,
It's so
now there's
hot.
like,
yeah.
I know. I walked to a meeting and they all were like, "You
the
walked?"
first time.
I was like, "Yeah, it was like 5 blocks." I'm like,
"What?"
"What?"
I like threw him under the bus.
I'm like, I mean, I did show up sweaty.
Because you're like, I thought people walked.
Hello. I'm good.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Oh.
You know what? Not really. This is so we're pretty tidy pattern of the two per month. And so the first one kind of like more discussion.
Go home and watch the Bears.
So there's a couple things here, but not.
What they're gonna do tonight?
Yeah, no, we don't have that.
You never know. You never know. Are you a Bears fan, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna watch?
Yes. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, there is that. Now, to be fair, there's
Hard to
See what
say.
else, yeah. See what Ann wants to watch, you know, if there's, yeah. No, I'm a Bears fan, but not
Okay, well,
much
there
of
we
it.
now we got
Not
Not
Bucky.
like this.
Now we're good.
Oh, what did I do?
Are you a Bears fan?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I know Al is a Bears fan, for sure, for sure.
He's not here this evening.
He's not gonna be here.
Well, we have a lot
Right.
because I'm.
No.
Is Al not here at all? He's not gonna be here?
Extra?
I think he is not going
Not
to
much.
Al?
Yeah, Al's not coming.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Well, we still have 1 minute.
So we're gonna have.
You do. We have 1 minute. It's kind of warm in here. I'm sorry.
A little bit. I also noticed that.
I know.
But only because it's so pleasant outside.
Amy, big, huge Hoosier win on Saturday.
So fun.
Congratulations.
So fun to watch.
excited.
Michael was home for fall break, so we were staying in the
So I
backyard with
think we're
his
going
roommate. We were
Oh,
probably screaming.
I heard
could
you,
hear us.
and I was watching a recording, and I was like trying to not interpret anything from your screaming. I was like, well, that could have been what I just saw.
Yeah.
Steven's like, you better close the windows.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no,
So
I'm
fun.
good. I kept saying, I cannot believe this.
I know.
Indiana is not a football school.
I just keep forgetting.
It's in the back of my mind. Basketball school.
I know. Now if
He's-
Penn State steals their crazy coach, we'll see what happens.
Oh, all the podcasts I listen to say, nah, he wouldn't go.
It's so expensive.
I know. Plus, why would he leave right now?
It's just a process.
So, it's very exciting.
More money.
Money.
Well,
Money is it?
Money, money, money. I
Yup.
all right.
He's such a goofball.
Everybody ready?
My kids are.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Prepared.
All right.
Let it rip. I like it.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Lewis. Welcome to the October 13th, 2025 meeting of the Village of Western Springs Village Board of Trustees to honor our nation's heroes and especially to honor the individuals who serve and protect our community. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Deputy Clerk Izzo, may we please have the roll call?
Yes, President Rudolph. Trustee Avakian.
Here.
Trustee Chen.
Here.
Trustee Fink is absent. Trustee Lewis.
Here.
Trustee Martin.
Here.
Trustee Naraki.
Here.
Thank you very much. Moving on to public comment. I don't believe we have anybody here. So we will go to our next item where the approval of the meeting minutes from both the September 8th and September 22nd meeting minutes. Those will be, I think those are approved on the omnibus? Yes.
Yep.
Those will be on the omnibus. Would anyone have any questions or concerns? All right, very good. Then we'll move on to our committee reports, beginning with General Government Committee. Trustee Chen.
Sure, thank you. We discussed 2 items in our General Government Committee. One was the Western Springs Park District request for special events liquor license and temporary use permit for Halloween Bash Chili Cook-Off 2025. This will move to omnibus after this if there's no questions or any other items that people want to pull off, but the Western Springs Park District has submitted a request for a temporary use permit and Class 1 special event liquor license for their Halloween Bash Chili Cook-Off event on October 25th. The event is proposed to be held in Spring Rock Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. A smaller version of this event with no alcohol has occurred 9 previous times. As this is the 10th year, the event is larger and they are now proposing the inclusion of liquor. All activities will be held in Spring Rock Park and will not impede or block any sidewalks or streets. On September 29th, the General Government Committee reviewed the application and recommended approval. The Liquor Control Commission reviewed the application at their meeting on September 30th and recommended approval. And I will just add that we chatted that an event at 10 a.m. seemed sort of like kind of early for alcohol, but it's a Halloween bash and they're having chili, so we decided to move it to the Liquor Commission, who I see approved it. So if there are no other questions, this will be on the omnibus for consideration.
Had the same observation. you
Okay,
did.
thank you.
10 a.m. seemed a little early, but chili sometimes needs a beer.
Agreed. So, and that's what was discussed. So, thank you. And then the second item is the 2025-2026 strategic plan. As a result of the strategic plan update workshop meetings that we had this summer, each of the established pillars of the Village of Western Springs strategic plan were reviewed, and subcategories have been updated to reflect the feedback received from board members collectively. Once finalized, the plan will guide the village board and staff to make well-informed decisions regarding budget allocations, community engagement topics, and project and study advancements. This strategic direction will ensure that our initiatives are both focused and effective in addressing the growth and development needs of the community. To finalize the 2025-2026 strategic plan, the General Government Committee was asked to review the draft, which has now been advanced to the board, and I believe it's in the packet for consideration as part of the village budget process. Staff is available for any questions you may have this evening on it. We chatted a little bit about it in general government, but it's definitely passed on to the full board. If you have any.
Did you have any comments or call-outs?
No, I appreciated that it was like kind of streamlined and condensed,
Yeah, I
than it
like
has been in past years. I thought that was helpful. But I did not have any comments on any of the content. And Phil, we didn't really have any items that we discussed in general government. No.
No,
No.
not to add, yeah, because it was just the draft discussion.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Okay, so review, and I guess it will move on during the budget process. It will guide us.
Those will come through budget process and through the committees.
Right, so we would bring back the final strategic plan for the board's approval at our next meeting. If you have any other comments or questions or anything you want us to take another look at, we can do that between now and then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Upon my review too, it looked like a good recap and summarization of our discussions that we had over the summer. I didn't notice anything missing. There were a few items I think that we didn't get time to actually discuss in any or much detail, but again, assuming these all come through the
They will.
budget and the committees.
That's right.
Okay, great. Yep, thank you.
And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on to the Finance Committee report, Trustee Martin.
Yes, we also have 2 items that we discussed at our committee meeting. The first of which is not an action item, but it's the discussion of the levy for 2025 and a 2026 budget update. And I'm going to let John Macedonia do the honors of talking about the levy.
Yes, thank you, Trustee Martin. So this is the first draft of the levy. We'll continue to work on it the next month or two until the public hearing that's anticipated to be November 17th with approval to happen December 1st, 2025. As a non-home rule community, the village must comply with the property tax extension limitation law, also known as PTEL, which limits the increase in property tax extensions. The limitation law specifies that the increases are to be the lesser of 5% or CPI of the preceding year with a component for new growth. The CPI for 2024 and utilized in this draft was 2.9%, and the new growth assumed was 1.59%. There are levy exceptions to PTEL, which are not subject to be capped, and those are including debt payments of general obligation bonds, limited tax bonds, and the special recreation levy. So following that, we split our levy into two different amounts, a capped amount and a non-capped amount. I'll kind of go over the total levy, what that changes compared to last year, and kind of dive into some of the specific line items. The total village levy request is $10,060,351, which is a 13.92% increase compared to the previous year, or a total of $1,228,928. 72% of that increase is for debt payments, which falls under the non-capped portion. 16%, approximately $195,000, is pension obligations, and 12%, approximately $145,000, is general operations. So to focus on the non-capped first, the 72% increase, this includes debt payments for the first issuance of the 2025 referendum that was approved in April. We are anticipating that sale to take place in November 2025, so next month. And this total $888,000 increase is net of debt payments that have also concluded compared to last year. So we had some debt that was final payments happened in 25, and then this one would be coming on in 2026. Focusing on the capped portion that are limited by PTEL, $195,000 for pension obligation. Most of this amount is related to the increase in actuarial contributions for the police pension fund. Again, our policy is to be fully funded by 2033, well ahead of the 90% by 2040 by state. 145 is for general operation. This item covers regular operations within the general fund, such as personnel costs, contractual expenditures, and commodities. If the new growth estimate is too large, the county will automatically reduce our levy, and we will pass an ordinance at a later date directing them to specifically reduce from the corporate operation line item. So that 145,000 number, if our estimate and our right now of these drafts, if that comes in lower, the county will automatically lower that number. The Thomas Ford Memorial Library has no authority to levy a property tax, so this amount will be included in the village's levy. The total library levy requested is $2,091,330, which is about a 2.15% increase compared to the previous year. We will continue working through this draft, and we anticipate having the levy hearing November 17th with approval of ordinances anticipated at the December 1st Board of Trustees meeting. I'm happy to answer any questions between now, tonight, or as they arise in the next month. Again, our hearing will kind of look at the total levy at an aggregate level and show what those funds support and what departments they fall into.
With the 13.92% increase, if we didn't have the referendum and didn't have the first tranche, I think you said that's 880,000.
Correct, yes.
What would the percentage have been? Because obviously that's a pretty staggering percentage, and it's because of that addition.
Correct, yes.
Right.
It'd be about 4.7%.
Which that's even a little lower than we've had in the past years. I think we've been closer to about 4.9 in the past.
Yes, yeah, this is the first year in about the last three that CPI was actually lower than the 5%.
Yeah, okay. And you said that CPI was 2.9?
2.9, correct.
Okay, so again, the number, while the percentage sounds large, it is specifically as a result of the of those funds. Okay.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty much, right now it's in line with a lot of our estimates during our referendum open houses and education materials. That number will be finalized at the bond sale when the interest rate is final at the sale.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Just because this is my first year in the levy cycle, I just want to make sure everyone learns what I learned, that the growth part that John talked about, the estimate, so much as we think we're landlocked and there's no more growth in Western Springs, there is growth. So we have new property taxpayers estimated to come on, and that's the estimate. So we think we've got more property taxes coming. It's not that we, the village, are growing, the residents are growing, and therefore we have more property taxes on a dollar basis that we will be bringing in next year, hence the increase.
So we expect it every year, but we never know exactly.
We never
what it
know
is
exactly
until
what it
it's-
is, right?
Correct, yeah, it's just an estimate that we use some community development data, but it is the county and how, when houses are sold and
Right, it can be
what
anything
hits the
from
rolls.
sales to new houses in Timber Trails or some of our new townhouses to
Mhm.
tear downs and new construction, any and all of the above, right?
Yep,
So we
correct.
take last year's taxes, we get to increase for costs, we get to increase for growth, and we get to increase for the amount of our bond issuance that we take
Mhm.
on. It's sort of, those are the stair steps.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
Did I
good-
get that right?
Yep.
Great.
Good visual, yes. Any other questions for Director Mastandona? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
The
you.
second item that we talked about is a budget amendment, and it's related to the bond issuance. So Director Macedona has opened, if you don't mind, I can dispense with this, but has opened up another fund. So we will be issuing the first $15 million of the $45 million of bonds will get issued and put in the market next month. So those will have a cost associated with them, and we'll just have to put that into our budget amendment. Into our budget for next year. One of the things we can do, though, is take some of the engineering costs that we've already incurred for the referendum projects, and we can put them against that account, and that's a budget amendment for 2025. Did I get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, when we passed those agreement, or after the referendum was approved, we passed a reimbursement that we could just start spending money right away and reimburse when the timing was right for a bond sale. We recommended opening up a new fund to just really account for everything properly and make it easier to see. So since this fund did not exist when we approved this year's current budget, is why we need these budget amendments.
But it made sense for us to be able to act immediately once that had passed, to be able to start working on the projects that were anticipated as part of the entire planning process, right?
Yes,
That's how
yes,
we did it.
correct.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
Is this on the omnibus?
I don't, not for tonight, no.
No, it's-
This will be on
No.
the next meeting,
Next
yeah.
meeting.
Discussion tonight and action at the next
Yeah,
meeting.
No, that's helpful. Good.
And that's all we have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else with any questions about that? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. All right, moving on to Planning and Zoning Committee report. Trustee Fink is absent, so Trustee Avakian.
Thank you. We have one item. In February, the village board approved a plan development for the property at 5600 Wolf Road, along with other approvals, including a development agreement. The development agreement required that the developer begin the site improvement work within 180 days of that approval. As required, the developer is in the process of obtaining outside agency permits. This review is taking a little longer than anticipated, and Cook County has requested some additional easement language to be added related to the stormwater structures adjacent to Wolf Road. So as a result, the developer is asking and seeking an extension on the site work and updates to the plat. Director Vallone, anything else you wanted to add?
Sure. I also going to just direct your attention really quickly to the screen. As Trustee Avakian mentioned, the developer is currently engaging with outside agencies such as Cook County Department of Transportation and also MWRD. As part of that review process, Cook County Department of Transportation has been reviewing the stormwater structure that is adjacent to Wolf Road. As you can see on the screen, this is the overall plat. Wolf Road is here to the right side of the screen. Just going to zoom in here. So this area adjacent to Wolf Road is where a stormwater structure is going to be located. The county is looking to have some modified language in the area for their access to engage in maintenance if needed in the stormwater management facility. So they've requested this hatched area that you can see on the screen. And then they've additionally requested some minor language, as I indicated before, related to their access of the site in the instance that they need to maintain the stormwater management facility. So these two items and then some just minor clarification of the term Cook County Department of Transportation are the changes that the outside agency is looking for the plat. Generally, the easement that is below it, the public utility and drainage easement that was approved on the original plat, is still there. This just overlays it to give the Cook County Department of Transportation additional ability to access the site and maintain the stormwater facility if needed. Additionally, as indicated by Trustee Avakian, they had submitted for their outside agency permits quickly after approval. They are still in the approval cycle. They just received comments back from MWRD today, and they have a meeting scheduled with Cook County Department of Transportation related to the status of this approval language, and then to their comments as well. So they are seeking an extension to commence the site work. They have already begun work on the property by demolishing the building, removing the hard surface, and then disconnecting the utilities, but they cannot get going on the site work until the outside agency permits have been approved. So they are looking for an extension on this. Staff and the developer are proposing a conservative date for that that would ensure that they would not need to seek another extension. So this is just on for discussion tonight, and this will be brought back on the 27th, the second meeting of the month, for formal consideration. The Planning and Zoning Committee did review it and did recommend approval of it to the village board.
What is the likely delay? I know that we're requesting a conservative extension, but how long are we anticipating that it sits as is?
Well, the developer and I had a conversation today, and they're hopeful that the MWRD comments can be addressed in the next round, and that the Cook County comments can also be addressed quickly and permit be issued. They intend on, if they can, through outside agency permits and the village's issuance of a permits, get started as quickly as possible. The plan development approvals per code are valid for a year from approval. The development agreement had a tighter window to start site work, given that they were so far advanced in final engineering as part of the entitlement process for that 180 days. So they were not aligned.
And are there things on the site such as in the current state as like for erosion control and things that help with the stormwater management right now?
That's correct, yes. So erosion control measures are up and are actually being monitored both by the developer and from the village. If you remember correctly, we passed a agreement with V3 companies to do our construction oversight for the site. They monitor the site before any rain event, post-rain event, and then on a weekly basis, even if there is no rain. And staff receives a report related to the site. The developers also then provided that report, and if any corrections are made, they have generally been making them within about 48 hours.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know. Thank you.
Doesn't sound though, Heather, like you think that this is a undue delay. There's some hurdles to get over, but the project is advancing.
I would say it is a longer permitting process than we've seen through the outside agencies from other projects. However, it is not necessarily out of the possibility that it could take MWRD or Cook County this long to review a site that has this kind of complex conditions.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions?
And that's all we have.
All right. Thank you very much. Moving on to Public Works and Water Committee, Trustee Lewis.
Thank you, President Rudolph. As we have previously discussed, the Public Works Department wants to create a pool of qualified contractors we can use for sewer or water main breaks. We sometimes need to seek outside help when underground utility depths exceed our capabilities, or when breaks happen in succession and staff has worked too many continuous hours. We issued a request for qualifications in August and received several responses. After reviewing the responses, staff recommends we use 3 contractors on a rotating basis. They are Calumet City Plumbing, IHC Construction Companies, and Anchor Heavy Civil, LLC. As I mentioned, we've discussed this before, and this item will be on the omnibus agenda for action later tonight. Moving on, the Public Works and Water Committee is recommending approval of a succession contract with Water Services, Inc. for water meter installations. We need a new contract with the company because it is no longer part of the bigger organization with which we initially contracted. This new contract will carry us to the end of the year. We have $13,311 remaining in the 2025 budget for this meter-related work, and this item will be on the omnibus agenda at our next meeting. Any questions about that? Item C, Western Springs, along with nearly 500 other communities and governmental organizations in Illinois, participate in a joint purchasing program for road salt. Our committee discussed this item last week and recommends the full board waive the competitive bidding process and approve and authorize the execution of State of Illinois salt purchase contract with Morton Salt for an amount not to exceed $100,000. And this will also be on the omnibus agenda for our next meeting.
Is this, does the salt, do we just start over each year, or do we sometimes have leftover?
I think we sometimes
Director
have
Super.
leftover. We have
Because
to-
it feels like we didn't
We
use
have
a
to
lot
buy a
last year.
minimum.
We have to purchase a minimum amount.
Oh, okay.
From the
Correct.
state when we agree to be a part of the program. If we do run short, we can buy more.
Right.
But yes, we have a healthy supply of salt.
Yeah, correct. So we do adjust our total amount each year. We actually put the request in back around April, and it's our notice that we're willing to participate, and then we make our estimate of how much we would need for the coming year. And then, as Trustee Lewis said, we're required to take a minimum of 80% of what our initial request is, but we can typically take more than that, presuming salt's available for other communities as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and next up, our committee also recommends a proclamation declaring October 28th, 2025 as First Responders Day be approved as part of the omnibus agenda tonight. Here's the proclamation, if I may. Whereas first responders, including public works professionals, firefighters, law enforcement officers, paramedics and emergency medical technicians, telecommunicators, and other emergency personnel stand on the front lines of our community, selflessly serving and protecting the people who live and visit the village of Western Springs in times of crisis. And whereas first responders respond swiftly and courageously to emergencies, often putting their own lives at risk to ensure the safety and well-being of others, whether in natural disasters, accidents, medical emergencies, or public health and safety threats. And whereas it is in the public interest for the people of Western Springs to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of first responder efforts in their respective communities. And whereas all residents of the village of Western Springs are encouraged to pay tribute to our public works first responders, law enforcement officers, firefighters, paramedics, emergency medical technicians, telecommunicators, and other emergency personnel, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our health, safety, and advancing the quality of life for all. Whereas the year 2025 marks the 7th annual National First Responders Day, sponsored by bipartisan resolutions in the U.S. House and Senate, be it therefore resolved that October 28, 2025 shall be and is hereby proclaimed First Responders Day in the village of Western Springs.
Great, thank you.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Important recognition, and we're really fortunate in our community. So, thank you. All right, moving on to Properties and Recreation Committee report. Trustee Naraki.
Thanks, President Rudolph. I have 2 items to report out on today. The first item being the fence project contract extension. A no-cost change order number 1 is proposed for the Public Works Recreation Fence Project due to a delay in material supply caused by the supplier relocating its manufacturing facility. The original completion date of September 28th, 2025 is recommended to be extended to November 7th, 2025. And that is on the omnibus for tonight. Does anybody have any questions on that item? Okay, then we can move on to the next one, which is the surplus declaration. The Properties and Recreation Committee recommends declaring various items from the Fire and Recreation Departments as surplus. These include 62 books, 9 MSA Firehawk SCBA masks, harnesses, and bottles. The fire equipment has exceeded its service life, and the books are either duplicates or underutilized. The masks will be donated to Prairie State College, and the books sold to half-price books for credit. I would recommend we advance this item to the omnibus for approval at the October 22nd meeting. Any questions? No? Okay, that concludes my report for tonight.
All right, thank you. All right, Public Health and Safety Committee, Trustee Avakian.
Thank you. The Major Crime Assistant Team, MCAT, is a mutual aid organization geared towards assisting detectives with major investigations when more personnel are needed than typically available in a single department. The casework completed by MCAT members includes execution of search warrants, canvasses, surveillance, along with many other tasks. MCAT consists of 12 surrounding police agencies, and the MCAT detectives receive annual training in various topics related to team responsibilities, tactical operations, and firearm training. So far in 2025, MCAT has had 14 activations, 2 for Western Springs incidents. We are suggesting the intergovernment agreement to be put in place. The Public Health and Safety Committee reviewed this item at our meeting, and we are recommending the approval of the intergovernmental agreement among municipalities establishing the Major Crimes Assistance Team, also known as MCAT. Any questions?
Great. Makes sense.
That's all we have.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. All right, we will move on then to the consideration of and action on our agenda items. The Illinois state statutes allow a municipality to collectively vote on a group of ordinances, resolutions, and other motions, such as awards of contract, appointments, etc. This is known as an omnibus vote. All the items contained on the omnibus vote list have been previously discussed by the President and Board of Trustees on at least one occasion and often on several occasions. By placing them on the omnibus vote list, a single vote may be taken to approve them. A trustee may remove any item from the list and have it discussed and voted on separately prior to the omnibus vote. Is there any such request this evening? If none, Trustee Chen.
Thank you. President Rudolph, I move that the following ordinances, resolutions, and motions as contained on the meeting agenda for October 13th, 2025 be adopted and/or approved under an omnibus vote. Item A, motion to approve the President and Board of Trustees September 8th, 2025 and September 22nd, 2025 meeting minutes. Item B, motion to proclaim October 28th, 2025 First Responders Day. Item C, ordinance number 25-3288, an ordinance approving the creation of Class I special events on property owned or leased by a not-for-profit organization liquor license for issuance to the Western Springs Park District for the 2025 Halloween Bash Chili Cook-Off special event to be held on Saturday, October 25th, 2025 in Spring Rock Park. Item D, ordinance number 25-3289, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a no-cost change order number 1 to the contract entered into with Classic Fence, Inc. of Montgomery, Illinois for the Public Works and Recreation Fence Replacement Project, extending the contract end date from September 30 to November 7th, 2025. Item E, resolution number 25-2952, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of master service agreements between the Village of Western Springs and Calumet City Plumbing Co., Inc. of Calumet City, Illinois, Anchor Heavy Civil LLC of Chicago, Illinois, and IHC Construction Companies LLC of Elgin, Illinois.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I will second that motion.
All right. May we have roll call, please?
Yes, President Rudolph. Trustee Avakian?
Aye.
Trustee Chen?
Aye.
Trustee Lewis?
Aye.
Trustee Martin?
Aye.
Trustee Naraki?
Aye.
President Rudolph.
Aye.
The ordinances, resolutions, and motions contained in the agenda of October 13th, 2025 are hereby adopted or approved.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Any new business or old business? Manager Bear?
Nothing.
All right. Then we will move on to the reports, beginning with our monthly financial report. Trustee Martin?
Next time.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I also do not have a report. Village Manager Bear?
I just have a few items. Sorry, I'll be quick. I wanted to send a big thank you out to Deputy Manager Bernacki and Communications Manager Salman Chichek, who worked with Susie Klowiak's office. Senator Klowiak and her team put together a really nice shred event that was held in conjunction with our regular styrofoam event, and it went off very well. My understanding from Casey is that they had quite a large turnout. They had 80% of the truck filled when they left for the day, and it was really well received by all those who participated. And then we also hosted a mobile correct me if I get this wrong, a mobile driver's license facility event with Senator Klowiak's office as well. Would you like to give a little bit background on that?
Yeah, it was a mobile DMV event. It was a one-day event. You had to sign up. I think they had 50 participants. They were it filled up within 24 hours of the application going live. And folks could come get their driver's license renewed and get a real ID, and really anything you could do at a DMV. And they were able to do that in our Grand Avenue Community Center in the gym. So it was a pretty cool operation. So the state is looking at other opportunities to do things like this, and they see Western Springs as being kind of in the middle, with you have to either go to Cicero or out to Naperville. So this was the location picked for that. And then we are also co-hosting with Senator Susie Klowiak Hilton's office the week of the 20th for a mobile emissions testing facility. So they will be present down at the recreation facility for the whole week. If your emissions testing is due, you can bring your vehicle down there, no appointment needed, and they will do it in the lot and get you out of there pretty quickly. And my card just came in the mail yesterday, so I'm thinking about it.
Who's going to be first in line?
Thank you very much. So a big thanks to Senator Susie Klowiak Hilton, who I think put us on the map for these really nice events, and I think they were all very, very well received.
Very convenient.
I just have a couple of other things. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, October 14th at 7 p.m., there's an informational meeting that's being held by our fire department. And I would, Chief Scott, if you'd like to say anything about that event. But it's an informational meeting for anyone who's interested in learning more about becoming a paid-on-call firefighter in Western Springs.
Perfectly said, Manager Bear. So it's an orientation session for anyone that's interested in being a paid-on-call firefighter for the village. Our firefighters will be there, their spouses will be there, have a chance to kind of present what the department offers them and what they can do in service of the community, as well as meet and talk with firefighters about the job and how fulfilling it is to serve your community in such a meaningful way. So tomorrow, 7 p.m. at Station 1, 4353 Wolf Road.
Tell all your neighbors if they'd like to hear
Fantastic.
more. We'd love to have them. Thank you, Chief. The Recreation Department is getting ready to host Halloween Hoopla on October 24th. I know Halloween feels like far away, but it'll be here before we know it. So that is taking registration right now for Halloween Hoopla. It's filling up. I think it's about half full already, and that's always a really nice event. This year they've expanded the event a bit, and kids will be taking home pumpkins, and I think it's really going to be a nice evening, October 24th, 4:30 to 6:30. And then finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our autumn leaf pickup program. Director Super, if you want to add anything about the program, but it begins Monday, October 20th. Postcard went out with all the details. Anything else, Director Super, that you'd like to add?
Not much, just a quick reminder. If most locations in town, you can put the leaves in the street just back of the curb, or just in the curb line. If you live on Wolf Road specifically, we want those leaves placed on the parkway, not in the roadway.
Just a reminder, do not put leaves out until October 20th, because if things get wet and slippery, it can be really hazardous. So we ask that everybody follow the outline on the orange postcards. We are working with Springdale neighborhood. There's some challenges with getting the leaves picked up on the streets that are under construction, but Director Koza has made arrangements for leaf pickup to be altered, and the Public Works Department's assisting with that as well. So I think everything should go off without a hitch on that too. That's all I have.
Great. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you.
Village Attorney Skronsky.
I've got no report tonight, thank you.
All right. Very good. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, thank you.
All right.